Listen to this. Janet sat down on the high stool behind the counter and waited while Sharon fumbled a pair of reading glasses. Sharon seemed not to have noticed that Janet hadn't, so far, said a word. Another indication, Janet thought, that Sharon was unusually rattled. True, Daphne Wood was not a typical visiting author. She was an award-winning environmental writer, known internationally as the icon of ecology, who led the life of a modern-day Thoreau. She lived in a log cabin she'd built herself in the wilds of Canada, and she was being brought to Inversgail as an author in residence for 3 months of the autumn school term. But more than that, she was being brought home. She had lived in Inversgail during part of her childhood, and her arrival was keenly anticipated from what Janet could tell. The library was hosting the inaugural author event Friday evening, but there was no reason for that to be as catastrophically rattling as Sharon was making it out to be. Glasses found at last and settled on Sharon's nose, Janet assumed she was about to hear a reason, possibly several. Sharon snapped the paper to attention and read, "Requirements for library and bookstore appearances. Laptop with Microsoft Office and Photoshop software. Access to a colour printer with scanning, fax, and copier capabilities. Photo paper for printer, glossy, 2 reams. Ice-cold Pepsi-free, 1 6-pack. Hot tea, any variety, but no Earl Grey. Jaffa cakes, McVitie's chocolate digestives, dark chocolate, not milk. Quiet room away from the public, with smoking permissible if such is not available, though it is preferable. Then a porch or similar, fresh air structure, well sheltered from weather, is acceptable. Tissues, 3 Pilot G2 0.5 pens, black, 1 Pilot G2 0.7 pen, blue. Assistant with post-its ready and responsible for ascertaining proper spellings of names and inscriptions, opening books to title pages for signing, keeping order among patrons waiting in line, popping Pepsi-free tops, pouring tea." Sharon snapped the paper again and slammed it on the counter. "And at the end of that lengthy and ludicrous list, she asked for a ceramic bowl with fresh water, to which I say havers." A bowl? And she specified ceramic? That's a new one. The fist came down again, and Janet hastily added, "It does sound like nonsense. Havers, absolutely." "I'm glad you agree. So are you going to kill her, or will I have to do it for both of us?" Janet's eyebrows had drawn steadily closer together as Sharon read. At the repeated question of killing, Janet's eyebrows shot upward. "Surely it's a joke," Sharon said. "I thought so too. I even laughed when Gillian gave it to me. Gillian didn't." "But surely Gillian isn't responsible for that list," Janet said. "It came from Daphne Wood, didn't it? Gillian must be as blindsided by it as you are, as you and I both are," she added, for placatory good measure. "And your event is Friday, isn't it? That gives you 5 days. Only if you count today and the day of," which, Janet thought, any reasonable person would. "The list is probably negotiable, though, don't you think? And your event is the dedication and Cayley dance to welcome Daphne and recognise Gillian's father for his work in Glenscale. It's more of a party, and she won't be signing books. It sounds to me like this covers the requirements for the whole 3 months of the author-in-residence visit, and not something we need to worry about." Janet waited until she saw a grudging nod from Sharon. "I'm sure Gillian's only the messenger, and you know what they say about shooting the messenger." Sharon's nod became a glower. "Clichés exist for a reason." "In that case," Janet said, "let's indulge in a few more and look on the bright side. I'll talk to Gillian and see what we can work out. You and I won't let that list put a damper on our day or the excitement of Daphne's visit. How does that sound?" To her own ears, it sounded twee.